Well, with that, this is about the easiest part that I've ever had at one of these things. But the most enjoyable part is to get to have the opportunity to introduce to you our next speaker. And as you all know, he's no stranger here, doing an outstanding job as our mayor. And I always enjoy being able to introduce not only the mayor of our city, not only, of course, a past chairman of our board, but more importantly, an individual that I like to consider a very dear and close friend to me, Mayor Jerry Mouton.
Welcome to the 2017 State of the City Address. So we've had a lot going, and we're fixing to get into what's been happening in 2016, but I would be remiss if I didn't recognize two more at my table. And so this year I am dedicating this presentation to one Miss Sandy Watkins. She's announced here recently that she's retiring at the end of the month. She's been serving our great city for 31 years as city secretary. She keeps me in line. She kept most of us in line. Kept Ronnie in line for 40-something years. So at this time I'd like to present to her some flowers and dedicate this State of the City Address to her. Again, thank you all for being here. If you look on your table, there's a printed publication in front of you. It's got a lot of extra detail. You can follow along. I'll be going through some of the highlights in that today. And as we get moving here, it's kind of nice to have a plan to understand where you've been from. And if you look around this room, as Mr. Culp and a few have alluded to, we've got the celebration of 125 years that our city's been founded, and up here in the front stage is a lot of historical facts, thanks to Ms. Sherry Garrison, who works hard on the historical committee for bringing that. And please come up if you didn't get a chance to see that. But let's take a look at the first segment in regards to planning and where we're going from here.
As part of the State of the City this year, Councilman Ginn and I want to take the time to acknowledge the hard work and dedication from our city staff and administration and our city council. In the short 2 years, we've accomplished a lot in the strategic plan.
That's right. From parks to economic development to public works. Many goals that were outlined in the 2014 plan have been accomplished, and the others are about to be finished.
The great thing about these goals, which we'll tell you more in a little bit, is that it aligns with the city vision and mission. The mission of delivering exemplary services, providing a great quality of life, and remembering our history. Let's take a look at what we've accomplished in the last 2 years.
First, let us give you a brief overview of how the strategic plan is organized. It has 5 areas of emphasis: governance and leadership, quality of life and image, comprehensive planning, economic development, and public safety.
Under each area of emphasis, the Council identified a set of strategies and major focuses for the city to begin working toward. To simplify how we've measured our success in each area, we've developed a scale using gold, silver, and bronze medals. Gold is used for strategies that have been either completed or in the final stages of completion. Silver is used for areas where we have made significant progress, and bronze medals represent areas where we've established a schedule and have taken some form of action. In other words, we're actively working on it.
Out of the whole strategic plan, we have a total of 47 strategies. Of those, 28 are gold medal strategies, 4 are silver, and 6 are bronze. That means 38 out of 47 strategies, roughly 80% of the 2014 strategic plan, is either complete or close to it, and 60% of the plan has been completed with gold medal status.
Now let's look at some of the major accomplishments we've achieved. In the governance and leadership section, we renewed our crime control and fire control special districts, met with Deer Park ISD, and hired our public relations and marketing specialist. In quality of life, we implemented our parks, recreation, and open space master plan, started 7 Type B funded projects, and moved forward on Phase 1 of the Deer Park Nature Preserve, as well as our wayfinding signage project. From comprehensive planning, we issued approximately $16 million in certificates of obligation and completed the 6th year of a 10-year water and sewer capital improvement project plan. We also completed the update process of our comprehensive plan, our subdivision ordinance, and our zoning ordinance, which represented the first time since the 1960s that we had made critical changes to those documents.
The economic development section is another area where we saw significant progress made during 2016. Through our city's first Chapter 380 Economic Development and Incentive Agreement with Centacor Acquisition Company, Incorporated, we established the Junction at Deer Park Shopping Center, which includes not only our new 83,000 square foot HEB location, but spaces for additional growth in the coming years.
Another key success to come out of this section was the strengthening of our hotel-motel tax allocation process. Through our partnership with local hoteliers, our historical preservation efforts, and our sensational Art Park Players programs, not to mention everything we're doing to celebrate our 125th birthday this year, we're really using that tax for what it's meant for, and we feel our community has greatly benefited from those efforts. We just covered a whole lot of material, so please refer to your State of the City guide for more information on these projects and a whole lot more.
I'd like to echo what Councilman Martin and Guillen did and thank them for a fine job of presenting that. And I'd also like to thank the administration, the directors and staff for the incredible things that have been achieved in the 2014 strategic plan. And as you can see, we've got a whole lot of stuff going on here. And one of the things that was alluded to that I'd personally like to thank the community at large for supporting is the renewing of the Fire and Crime District for 10 years, which has played a huge role in continuing to strengthen and expand most probably what I would define as one of the critical roles of local city government, which is public safety. And so at this time, let's roll into the next segment and see what the two chiefs have to say about this.
Hi, I'm Sherry Garrison. I'm on City Council. I'm here with Bill Patterson, another council member, and our Chief of Police, Greg Gregg. We're out here at the new firearms facility, which was made possible by the Crime Control and Prevention District. Chief, I know this has got to have been a very exciting year for you.
It's been a very good year, thanks to the voters of Deer Park. We have a renewed Crime Control Prevention District. It's been renewed for 10 years. We're grateful for that. And with those funds, we'll be able to continue to have fund additional personnel, vehicles, equipment, and technology. Well, we're standing here at the largest benefit that we have seen so far out of the Crime Control Prevention District, and that's our gun range and our training facility. And with this range, once it's completed, which we hope to be maybe in the early summer, once that's done, we'll be able to do all of our semi-annual qualifications with handguns, rifles, shotguns, and we'll be able to do less lethal training here. Our SWAT team will be able to come out and train every month.
Well, that's outstanding. I know that's going to help our police department and help secure the safety of our community.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned technology and resources, assets.
Yes, sir. We right now we're funding additional dispatchers, 3 additional dispatchers, a crime prevention officer, and we've also started up a proactive investigative unit. That unit is going to specifically go after violent offenders, property offenders, as well as drug dealers. We've been able to buy 6 police cars this year, 5 Tahoes for patrol, 1 our CID, Criminal Investigation Division, and we've also been able to stay in the OSSI consortium, which is a grouping of about 20 plus agencies in the same reporting environment, and many of those agencies surround us so that we can stay in touch with not only criminals in our area, but when they go into other areas, LaPorte or League City or Friendswood, we can keep up with what they do there as well.
Wow, that's awesome.
This has been a great asset for the city of Deer Park, and I know the citizens of Deer Park, as well as we, appreciate so much our police department.
Thank you. We appreciate our citizens for renewing this and for you guys for supporting us. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
We're here this morning with Don Davis, Fire Chief of our volunteer fire department. Don, what's it like coming back being Fire Chief again?
It's very interesting. I served from 1986 to early 90s, and there's a lot more work to do today, a lot more paid staff, a lot more equipment. It's enjoyable, though. I enjoy it.
And you kind of have a unique perspective, Don, since you served on the Fire Control District, and now you've come back as Fire Chief.
That's right. I was on the board approving projects. Now I'm on the board or presenting to the board so that, you know, I have to come up with the projects and determine what we need most and what the priorities are. And these ambulances and fire trucks behind us are a very high priority to me.
Specifically, what are some of the items that the Fire Control District has been able to provide our fire department?
We've replaced a couple of trucks in the past with rescue pumpers. We've got a new 107-foot aerial ladder on order that is going to replace one of our existing older trucks. We put on staff 4 additional paramedics, 2 on the city side, 2 on the fire control board side. We've improved our personal protective equipment. We've got thermal imaging cameras, a number of things for life-saving devices. Lucas chest compression devices are on some of our ambulances now. Improved cardiac monitoring equipment. So we've done a lot.
I know the city of Deer Park really appreciates all that y'all do.
Thank you.
We certainly do. Thank
Well,
you.
we appreciate that.
Well, just to follow up with this video and thank Councilman Patterson and Councilwoman Garrison for their hard work in that. There's nothing that I appreciate more than the community support and again, approving on the ballot the 10-year renewing of them districts, because there's not a time in life that is more challenging when things don't go your way, and you're the recipient of either the men in blue serving in either our fire department, our police department, needing the resources and the asset, and I'm grateful for them. But as you can see, we've got a lot more stuff going on than just in that area, and if you look at this picture right here, this just occurred Tuesday. We were able to break ground on a brand new city hall. I'm so looking forward to this. It's been a nice journey. It'll be adjacent to the current city hall facility just to the east of it. It's going to be about a total of a $7 million project, and I'm excited and looking forward to being able to not only have a new city hall to continue to serve, but investing in and preparing for the future, which is something that's important to me. So as you can see in this scenario, we've got some renditions of it, and if you you've got the city council chambers up on the left, and you've got the front vision, which is going to be facing towards St. Augustine in the bottom, and up on the right top side is going to be the view looking over Down Park. So it's going to be a nice asset and something that will hopefully be there a long time. Also, we are looking at some breaking ground here pretty soon as well on the Deer Park Animal Shelter and Adoption Center. It's a much needed asset, and again, it's exciting to me as mayor to be able to invest in these kind of capital outlay projects and start planning to address the future. And you know, it's important when you get ready to look at investing in these things to be in a good, strong financial position to do that. Now, most of you are looking at this, and you're asking yourself, what in the freak is 2.8? Does anybody know? All right, raise your hand. Know what 2.8? Well, since I became the mayor, continuing a long lineage of strong financial management and practices and policies and procedures, the Deer Park in the last 2 years have been upgraded from a AA+ to a AAA rating. And it's afforded us an opportunity to not only when we do invest in the future, but put us in a very, very, very strong position to when we do issue bonds, to issue them at a very, very low interest rate and reduce the overall cost of the major outlays that we're looking at. So that 2.8%, we are one of 34 cities out of 1,216 in Texas that have a AAA rating. So we are in the top 2.8% of cities in Texas of being in the strongest financial position that you can find yourself in. And it's, you know, a commitment to the former mayors and city councils that have continued that, and I appreciate so much the council that we have in place working together so we can continue these strong financial advantages. And I recall the first bond that we went out for, it was about a 10-year outlay for about $10 million a few years ago. That bond issue alone, when we got upgraded from a AA to AAA, saved the taxpayers $1 million in interest over 10 years. So it put us in a very, very strong position, and I'm very excited about that. And it's afforded us to be able to invest in these kind of infrastructures that we'll see a little bit more here in the future, and in a few minutes, in regards to sidewalks, again, the animal shelter, and just a lot of activities that we got going on. So without any delay, let's just get in and see what's been going on in Public Works.
Hi, my name's Kathy Holcomb. I'm with the City of Deer Park Public Works Department, and I've been here 15 years. And during that time, I've seen some pretty incredible projects come to fruition, and 2016 has been no exception.
To start with, the wastewater treatment plant experienced a significant expansion in 2016, with the headworks and UV unit replaced during a phase 1 of a two-part project. When you look at the aerial photo of the plant, you'll notice the 2 brown areas where we made our improvements this year during phase 1. No, not those brown areas. Try not to think about what's in there. You're looking here, the site of our new headworks, and here, the site of our new UV filter.
To tell you a little bit more about these 2 units, here's Brent Koslow. He's our Assistant Public Works Director.
This is the completed headworks for phase 1. Basically, its job is to sift through all the solids, the plastics and stuff that come through the lift station, through the flow, and it's filtered out here, and then the rest of the water comes through the rest of the system and is treated on the other side. Behind me right here is a new UV structure. It was completed in phase 1. This structure uses UV light to treat the flow as it the very last part of the flow as it's treated and comes out before it's discharged into the ditch behind us. And the reason for this particular UV structure is for energy efficiency, and also it has a little more volume, so we're allowed to take more flow and treat it throughout the day.
In total, phase 1 of the wastewater treatment plant expansion came in at $6.26 million. Phase 2 will improve wastewater storage capacity, will cost $16.29 million, bringing the project total to about $22.5 million.
Although the wastewater treatment plant was one of our biggest projects, we had other areas we made significant progress in.
During 2016, we completed Year 6 of a 7-year outreach participation agreement with the Texas Commission on environmental quality for sanitary sewer overflow projects. We also installed new sidewalks and handicapped access ramps along approximately 15 streets in Deer Park. As well, we completed 2 detention pond projects at Destiny Street and Peace Street, which improved the functionality of the ponds and overall maintenance. Finally, we completed 3 large water line improvement projects on Ivy Street, Hillshire, Estate Drive, and in the Shell City subdivision.
Believe it or not, we're still not done. During 2016, the Public Works Department also had several other smaller projects that we handled.
Due to time constraints, we sped this list up by about 20 times. Suffice it to say, Public Works had a very busy year in 2016.
From everyone at Public Works, we would like to thank the citizens of Deer Park for their patience during any water line or road closures or sanitary sewer projects.
In 2016, we've had over $16 million worth of projects going. As you can see, it's almost too many to name up here today. And thanks to the Public Works for their update on that regards. And at this time, I would personally ask for Mr. Ben Alexander to be here, and I can't see you because of all the lights. But would you please stand and let everyone give you a hand? I wanted him here today because I wanted to thank him, because many days myself and council and everybody at City Hall gets a lot of good comments about the services that his department provides. And it's such a joy to be able to hear how Mr. Ben Alexander is running the sanitation department and the things that he does, keeping our city clean. And without any further delay, let's see what Mr. Ben Alexander has to say about all that.
I'm here with Ben Alexander, the sanitation supervisor for the City of Deer Park, whose division recently received some well-deserved praise after a post was put on the Public Works Facebook page. Now let's get to know the man who leads some of the most well-loved employees for the City of Deer Park. Ben, how long have you been at the city?
I've been with the City of Deer Park now 23 years. I'm formerly with the City of Beaumont for 15 years.
Now tell us more about this beautiful building we're standing in.
Well, this is our transfer station, and we're very proud of it because it's known across the state as the cleanest transfer station in the state of Texas. On any given evening, a person could come here and would never know that there were 91 tons of garbage that actually came through these doors.
Your department does an awesome job. Now, can you tell us what motivates your employees to do their best?
Well, we kind of act as a family unit. You know, I wouldn't ask my employees to do anything that I wouldn't do or hadn't done in the past. I will even go out on the truck with them just to give them some instruction and some lead as far as training and proper lifting techniques.
All right, so in all of your years, what are some of the most unique experiences you've ever encountered with the city?
Well, there have been a lot of unique situations. We really take pride in citizens being able to call, and those unique situations where they can't get heavy items out to the curb, so I'll go out and help them lift it, and then get to talk and know the people.
Mr. Alexander, thank you for the job that you do. I really appreciate it, and it's nice to be able to stand up here and represent on behalf of you and all the employees of the fine services that y'all provide. So at this time, we're going to look at some major parks and recreation projects. Where's Mr. Swaggart at by chance? Is he here? Mr. Swaggart, why don't you come up here and let's talk a little bit about what you got going on in your department. So it says something here about wayfinding projects. What you got going on in that department?
Well, Mayor, we are excited about the wayfinding project. As you can see here, you can see one of our monument signs. We've actually got 2 of those signs built right now at Winfield and Running Brook Parks, and we've got 2 more being installed right now at the Terrace Park and College Park. Also, part of Phase 1, we are in the installation of all of our signs, and we've got our first street sign being installed right now on the corner of 13th and Georgia.
So how's this going to be able to help our constituents in Deer Park?
Well, first, the improvements that we have is, you'd be surprised, Mayor, how many people actually come to Deer Park and visit, whether it's for a school event, one of our Parks and Recreation special events, coming to the monument, the state park, or just coming to visit family and friends. What these signs are going to do is be able to direct traffic, direct our visitors around the community, as well as, you'd be surprised at how many people in Deer Park that have lived here their whole life don't even know the name of the parks or the facilities that we have. And so with the monument signs, they'll be able to identify and know which our parks are and where our city facilities are.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because there was a park here recently we did a rededication on, and I didn't even know where it was. I had to call Libby and ask her what. You remember where that one back over there off Pasadena Boulevard in Llewellyn? You don't remember the park name? That's pretty good. Okay. You don't remember that park name either? You're the park director. You're supposed to name all the parks. I'm just saying. Okay, let's move on. Deer Park Nature Preserve. I hear we got something going on with Deer Park Wetlands.
The Deer Park Wetlands. Well, actually, Mayor, we actually changed the name of this year.
That was pretty funny. I'm just saying.
The Nature Preserve. We actually named it the Deer Park Nature Preserve because when we were going through the design of the concept of the wetlands, we discovered that it's more than just a wetland. This is actually a diamond in the rough piece of property in the city of Deer Park. And one of the things that we're excited about is the trail that goes on the outside perimeter of this. If you walk this crushed granite trail, you're actually going to be able to experience 3 different environments that the city of Deer Park has, either the grasslands, the woodlands, or the wetlands.
That's over there off East Boulevard and Egg Street, is that correct?
That is East and 13th.
East and 13th, so at least you know where it's at. All right, Mr. Swaggart, thank you so much for helping us out with that.
Thank you, Mayor.
So I think we got some more projects going on here. And I know the Type B's got a number of projects going on. A lot of them are also in the Parks and Recreation Department, so let's see what we got going over there.
Are you always looking for that perfect outdoor location for your family events and parties to just be utterly disappointed? Either you're beaten down by the blazing hot sun, or stuck in some jumping jamboree pizza pizzazz, where your last dollar is spent and you get hit in the face with pizza. And worst of all, not have the space you need. Well, you're in luck. Thanks to funding from Type B Tax, the City of Deer Park has something amazing in the works. A brand new pavilion in Dow Park. This pavilion will not only keep you from looking like a lobster, it will give your kids a place to run, and run, and run, and run, till they pass out from exhaustion. Won't that be wonderful? Not only will this location be a great place for parties, but also a perfect venue to watch great live entertainment. Are you excited about the new pavilion? Now, to tell us more about the pavilion and how it will impact Dow Park, here's Parks and Recreation Director Scott Swegert, joined with City Council members Ray Sinor and Thane Harrison.
We're so excited about the improvements that are coming to Dow Park with these new pavilions that are coming in.
Hey, Dave.
Hello, Mr. Harrison. How you doing?
How are you? Good to see you.
You've been out walking in the park?
Yes, walking
It
the
is a great
trails.
park.
Beautiful.
I've been out bird watching.
Oh.
Those little suckers are flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you know Deer Park is a bird sanctuary?
I did not.
You did?
Hey, Scott, tell us about some of the changes that are going to be going on in Dow Park over the next few months.
The current pavilion will be replaced with a new facility containing a staging area and a new family restroom. Across Dow Park, taking the place of the current restroom facility, also known as the Roundhouse, will be a 3-section pavilion with a dance floor in the center which doubles as a stage, as well as seating areas on either side.
So it can be used all together or separately for different events.
And you've got a large common area here in the middle that'll be able to, for people to be able to sit in the grass.
When do you think construction's going to start?
Construction should be starting in March, with the dedications planned in June.
Now that you've told us about Dow Park and that project, where are we at on the other Type B projects?
Well, we're completing the design phases of the expansion of the Maxwell Center and the parking lot, the girls' softball facilities at the youth sports complex, and the soccer fields, which will be located at the intersection of East Boulevard and 13th Street. We're hoping to start construction on all 3 of these projects this summer.
We've talked about several of the projects, Scott, but something I want to hear about is our hike and bike trails. What's going on there?
The hike and bike trails are actually going to begin planning those this year, and so we'll be planning those and then starting construction later on.
You know, as always, under your leadership, the Parks and Rec Department's doing a fantastic job with just the normal stuff that we do. All these other high-profile Type B projects, where can the citizens go in Deer Park to get updates on these periodically?
From the city website, where we have a dedicated Community Development Corporation page with links to each of the projects, and don't forget the Parks and Recreation Facebook page, where we continue to update as well.
Thank you to Mr. Swigert, to Councilwoman Sinor, and Councilman Thane Harrison. I didn't realize he was that much of a bird watcher. That was entertaining at best. But as you can see, we've had a whole lot going on in 2016, and again, with the theme of this year, celebrating our 125th, it's kind of nice to look back and reflect on where we've been, and it's kind of nice to have a plan on where we're going, and we've had a lot of projects that you've seen so far, but one little final video that I wanted to highlight is the public library and show you some of the resources and assets that they've got going to help meet the needs of the future, and continuing education is something that's important to me and many in this room, and so it's nice to see some of the innovative ways our library services are integrating some of that. So let's see what they've got going on there.
Have you seen the price of new books and audiobooks these days? Even ebooks are expensive. And when you finally have some spare time to read, you aren't even carrying those clunky books around. Where are you going to find the room to squeeze even more books onto your shelves? Well, those days are over. Introducing Overdrive, a completely refreshed website and app experience that makes your digital library faster and easier to use than ever before. And even better, it's available free of charge to Deer Park Public Library patrons and so easy to use. Just log on to the city's website, navigate to the library page, and click on eBooks from Overdrive. You can also download the Overdrive app straight to your smartphone, tablet, or other mobile device. Once you have Overdrive in front of you, just select the Deer Park Public Library, enter your library card number and your PIN, and you're in. From the Deer Park Public Library's Overdrive homepage, you can browse for a specific title or author, borrow a title, and then enjoy. You can even check out what's coming up for your library's Mystery and More book club and start reading early.
Any book you borrow from Overdrive can be accessed from any device.
But wait, there's more. If you come to the Deer Park Public Library during business hours, a friendly staff member will be available to assist you and answer any questions. Call 281-478-7208 to learn more.
Wow, what a great way to end our presentation today. And as you can see there, from any information that you might want to know about in regards to all the projects that we got going, and about all of the 125th events that we've got scheduled for 2017. Please refer to the website and see if you can look that up. Please remember to take this publication with you. It's got a lot of in-depth detail in regards to all the stuff that's going on. And I would be remiss if I didn't recognize all of our partners in the region. I'd like to thank all the regional mayors and elected officials that have come out today. I enjoy and appreciate working side by side with all of them to do what's good for the East End, and it's such a joy. And I would be remiss if I didn't close without thanking at least 3 people that have worked for several months to help put this presentation together, and that is one, Mr. Gary Jackson, Ms. Kristen Edwards, and the gentleman that's hiding back over here in this left corner, Joe Piper. They've done a fantastic job helping put this presentation together. With that said, it's been a joy to present to you today the State of the City Address. 2017 is looking to be a big year. It's been an honor to serve, and I look forward to continuing to serve, and it's without a doubt my honor to say to you that the city has never been in a stronger financial position than it is today. And with that said, the state of the city for 2017 is absolutely fantastic. So thank you all for coming. That concludes our presentation. You are dismissed.